Welcome, everyone. You've reached Grandma Mo, and we're covering the WNBA playoffs. And we had Game 4 between the Indiana Fever and the Las Vegas Aces. And this was a must-win game for the Fever. They were down 2-1, and boy, they played really well, and they pulled it out, and they get the win 90-83. So congratulations to the Fever. Pushing a Game 5 as an underdog against the Aces. So congratulations to them. We're going to have an exciting game here on Tuesday. So, breaking down the game, you had the Fever up in the first quarter, 23-21, although it was pretty even. But then they started to pull away a little bit in the second, 23-17. In the third quarter, the Aces outscored them by a couple of points, 24-21, and then the Fever came right back and outscored them 23-21 in the fourth to give them a 90-83 victory. So points in the paint, they were pretty even this game. They were a little skewed in the other couple of games, but Indiana actually outscored them points in the paint, largely due to a very aggressive game from Aaliyah Boston. Just terrific from her. Turnovers were pretty even, but the points off turnovers were where the big difference was. You had the Indiana Fever getting 25 points off turnovers, whereas the Aces, they only got 16 on that with that one. So the last game, it came down to shooting percentage for the Aces. They shot 50%, whereas the Indiana Fever only shot in the 30s. So that was a big difference for them. In this game, they still outshot the Fever shooting percentage-wise, but it was closer. It was 49-34. Three-point shooting percentage was still in the Aces' favor, but, just other factors helped the Fever. That 25 points off turnovers, excuse me, just made the difference. There's your point differential and the difference in winning the game. So, but one of the key things, looking at these stats here, you have, they break it down for starters and players off the bench. So the shooting percentage between the starters and the bench, you had the Aces starters shot 54% to the Fever's 41% for the starters. But then you have the bench. The bench for the Aces only shot 28%, and the Indiana Fever shot 80%. So the bench definitely helped the Indiana Fever in this game. So let's see here. So, looking at the scoring breakdown, you had A'ja Wilson got her, she got her 31 points. But like covering the last game, the Aces had 5 players in double figures this time, and the Fever only had 3 players in double figures. And this time it was flipped. You had only 3 players for the Aces that got double figures. You had A'ja Wilson with 31 points. Jackie Young had her steady, as you go, 18 points. And Chelsea Gray was the only other player with 12 points in double figures. And then the rest of it, you have 3, 2, 3, 6, and then Melissa Smith had 8 points. So that was a big difference from the game before. They just didn't get enough from the team. A'ja Wilson shot, she had 9 rebounds, 3 assists. She got 4 steals and 3 blocks. So a good all-around game for A'ja Wilson. She was also 14 for 24, which, excuse me, 24 shots. That's a lot of shots to take, and it's all focused on one player, which has always been my little... I just don't think it's the right way to go, even with someone like A'ja Wilson. You can't just focus, have so much of the offense go through one player. But that's what they're choosing to do, and it's gotten them this far, so be that as it may. So Jackie Young was 6 for 10. She was 2 for 4 from 3. She had 9 assists, and 5 rebounds. And then Chelsea Gray, she didn't shoot as well. She did okay from 3 for 7. But overall, she was only 30%. Jewel Lloyd was 2 for 8. Most of her shots were 3-pointers. She made 2 of them, and those were her points. Megan Gustafson came in. She only took 2 shots. She was 1 for 2. She had 2 points. Dana Evans only had 3 points. In the last game, she had like 13 points, I think. So she was only 1 for 4. Kirsten Bell hit a 3-point shot. Nalissa Smith had... she was 4 for 5. She had 8 points, but she only had 2 rebounds. So, that is the breakdown for the Aces. Whereas you look at the Fever, well, you know what? The Fever actually only had 3 players in double figures in this game, but they were just in the 20s. You had Kelsey Mitchell with 25, and you had Aaliyah Boston with 24. But then you had 3 players with 7 points, which is a little higher than, the Aces had players with 2 and 3 points. So you get 3 players with 7 points. But just Boston pretty much, pretty closely almost zeroed out A'ja Wilson. A'ja Wilson had what is that? 7 more points. But Kelsey Mitchell had 25. Whereas with the Aces, you didn't have someone else having more than 20 points. Kelsey Mitchell was 9 for 20, which is 45%. And that's pretty good. It's not fantastic, but it's pretty darn good. Odyssey Sims was 6 for 9. She was a big difference in this game. 18 points. Lexi Hull did not shoot well in this game. Like she did last game, she was 2 for 12, which would account for only 7 points. But she had 4 steals and 7 rebounds. She took 7 3-pointers and only hit 1 of them. Natasha Howard still only 7 points. They need more out of her. She's got to be in double figures for them in this next game, I think, for them to... both Lexi and Natasha Howard have to be in double figures for them to win this next game. And then Boston and Mitchell are going to have to be over 20 points, and Odyssey Sims... anything over, in double figures would be good. Shea Petty added 7 points. She was 3 for 4. Timpson didn't score in this game. And then Brianna Turner hit another hoop. I think it was a layup, if I remember correctly. So, anyway, took a lot of guts and heart and hustle and just desire for the Fever to pull this, to push this to Game 5. It's going to be back in Vegas, so it should be pretty exciting. I'm not sure who I would pick in this game. I mean, at the beginning of the series, I thought, well, Indiana will probably win a game, but I thought the Aces would pull it out. But they just have not played really consistently for 40 minutes. And the Fever have done better at that. In the games they've lost, they haven't. But in the games they've won, they've played a better 40-minute game than the Aces have. And that has allowed them to get 2 of these wins. The other thing is that Boston, she had 24 points, but she also had 14 rebounds, which was terrific, and 5 assists, and 2 blocks and 2 steals. So very nice game from Aaliyah Boston. The Fever are going to need that again on Tuesday. So we'll see what happens. I'm not sure who to pick in this. I'm leaning Aces, but I'm not counting out the Fever. This is, leave everything on the floor and, whoever shoots better. As a whole team, whoever shoots better. Although the Aces have shot better than the Fever, but if it's close, I'm thinking the hustle of the Fever is going to just outdo them. Unless the shooting percentages are, more than 10 points. Like if the Fever shoot like 35% and the Aces shoot like 45%, I think the Aces will win. But if they're both in the 40s, it's anybody's game. So we'll see what happens. And, I can't wait to watch this one. And it'll be interesting to see who goes up against Phoenix. Because Phoenix won the other game. So... Anyway, it's been a great WNBA season, and appreciate it if you can hit that subscribe button. And we'll see you next time.